All right, Shalawam, Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam to Lek out there, doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. Right now, pretty much wanted to get into a brief health topic, concerning ancient grains. And the ancient grain in which I'm going to get into today refers to spelt, all right, which is a much healthier alternative to the grains in which we're used to eating today. All right, so I'm gonna start off. Slacking. Hold on, get this together. Because we know that the scriptures tell us about all things and gives us the healthier alternatives for the madness that Esau has created today. Right, so I'm gonna start off here. Hold on, let me switch the camera. All right, so I'm gonna start off here in the book of Exodus 9:32. All right, and it says, "But the wheat and the rye were not smitten, for they were not grown up." Now, when it's talking about the wheat and the rye were not smitten, for they were not grown up, basically, they weren't taken from the crops because they hadn't gotten to the point where they were ready to be consumed yet. You know, obviously, just like with fruits or anything else, they have to reach a certain point before you can actually pluck them off of a tree, so on and so forth. So this was the case with this. Now, the wheat that we ate back in ancient times, it was not the wheat in which we eat today. Okay, the wheat in which we eat today is a complete hybrid, and now it's completely GMO'd. Every source of what they call whole grain wheat is all GMO here in this world today. Maybe some parts of the world, they may contain, possibly, but I highly doubt it. They may contain the actual ancient wheat grain, but as of today, over here in Babylon, that's not the case whatsoever. 100% of everything that's wheat over here is GMO. All right. So it says, but the wheat and the rye were not smitten. Now, rye is another great substitute for the average wheat, or if you want to have rye bread and stuff like that. It doesn't taste as great to me, but it's a very good, healthy alternative. Not my top choice, but it also is a great alternative. But I want to single out this here in the scriptures because they made an error here by saying that this is rye. This is actually supposed to be spelt, because I was doing some research and then I just looked into it, right? And when it says rye, you have the Hebrew word here, kasamath, all right, kasamath. Now, when you go to it, what does it say? It says spelt, a wheat-like crop planted and harvested in the fall or spring. Now, one great thing when it comes to the things in which the Most High created, things only grow normally one time throughout the year. But what Esau does, since they GMO everything out, and they plant crops all over the world, things grow in seasons in which they shouldn't. You have your summertime fruits that grow in the summertime. You have things that not in this part of the world, but in other parts of the world, grow during what we would call the wintertime. All right. So you have different fruits, different vegetation, different crops, all right, that grow at different parts, different times of the year. Not everything grows all year round. If Esau tells you that, then it's something wrong with whatever they're giving you. All right. Now, when you read a little further into this, it said Kasamath, spelt from its bristless, bristleness, as if just shorn, fitchish rye. All right. Now, when it says spelt, a wheat-like crop, spelt it is a form of wheat. You have different forms of wheat. All right. You have spelt, you have teff, you have amaranth, so on and so forth. They're all grains, but they're also forms of wheat as well. All right. So the next scripture that I want to bring out is oh, I got it right here. All right, this is Ezekiel 4:9, and it says, "Take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fitches, and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof." So this is how you know that all these different things can be used in the form of wheat. All right, to make breads and to make different things. Right, according to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon thy side, 390 days shalt thou eat thereof. Now, when you go into this word fitches here, and obviously, well, you see the wheat, the barley, also like barley, millet, and all this different stuff. Even the lentils that they have nowadays is not completely right. Now, lentils is it's okay to eat, it's okay to eat, but it's still not right. Generally, how it should be. All right. So when you go into the word fitches here, you see what the same word again, kasamath. All right. So we know that obviously this is spelt. All right. Once again, here we go. Spelt, a wheat like crop plant and harvested in the fall or the spring. Okay. So with that, I just want to show brothers briefly right here, right? If you can see, you see here I have a little bit of spelt flour actually, and shit, slack here. So you see I have some spelt flour here, and this is what we use as an alternative to the modern wheat. And the great thing about spelt is, like unlike wheat, it actually can help to lower diabetes. It can help to lower your cholesterol, which we know that's a big myth anyway. But as far as just the clogging of the arteries, it can help with that. It helps with circulation of the blood. If you're anemic, you have a deficiency in iron, it can help with that as well. Now, it does contain what they consider to be gluten, but the gluten thing, I had to get into that another segment, another time, because it's a whole different thing when it comes to gluten. Because a lot of what they tell you isn't completely accurate. All right, so it's a lot of great benefits with this, and what grains or what flours that is actually can help to lower someone's diabetes. Can actual wheat do that? Can your modern day rice do that? Now, spelt also, it comes it's typically a grain, but they make flour out of it too, right? And I just want to show. Uh, Let me see if I can type it up here. 1 second. Spelt grain. All right. Now, here we go. This is what spelt actually looks like. All right. The actual grain itself. All right. So it's like a rice or any other thing that you can use out there. All right. Now, when you look at it, what does it say? It says spelt. What does it say? It says wheat. Okay. Spelt, also known as dinkel wheat or hold wheat, is a species of wheat cultivated since approximately 5,000 BC. We're not going off of their timeline and different things like that, but we know that this is an ancient grain, and it's clearly here within the scripture, so we know that this is actually right for us. All right, and they also have it in different forms. Now, what I show you here, spelt flakes. Right now, you can use this as an alternative to oatmeal. Because the regular oatmeal is not good. It's not good at all. Now, remember, I'm just speaking on these things from the most healthiest standpoint possible. Not saying you shouldn't eat regular oatmeal. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. I'm just speaking from the most healthiest standpoint possible, because that's what I focus on when doing these lessons. All right. and it's very healthy for you, and it tastes great as well. You know what I'm saying? You know, use some healthy alternative milk, with it, like some coconut milk or some hemp milk or something like that. Throw some cinnamon and a couple other things in there, you know what I'm saying? And it's actually better than, your normal oatmeal, right? So they have it alternatively as this. And as you can see, where it's produced by Shiloh Farms. So we know that, these so-called Jews, they produce this, all right? And this is the only company that I have seen so far that actually carries the spelt flakes. They have other ancient grains in this form as well as an alternative to an oatmeal, but that's this as far as this is concerned, right? And also too, there's many other sites that you can go to, but I'm just showing brothers just in case if you would like to get this as an alternative, to whole wheat and stuff like that. You got the Vita Spelt organic whole grain spelt flour 5 pound bag, and this is a 5 pound bag for just if you have Amazon Prime, it's even better. If not, it's whatever. They have it for $14, and also you get the 25 pound bag. I personally have the 25 pound bag, because I like to buy things in bulk and it comes out a lot cheaper. And that way you don't have to worry about keep going back to the store to get this and to get that, so on and so forth, right? Um, and also I want to show you this other alternative right here, right? Because as you can see, it says organic. It says diets rich in whole grain foods and other plant foods and low in total fat, saturated fat, cholesterol. Come on with all this Satan shit, man. But it says may help reduce the risk of heart disease. All right. So you see Vita Spelt grain for life, spelt pasta, small spelt shells. Now, whenever you go to get certain different alternatives for noodles or different things like that, some things may say spelt or may say um, quinoa, noodles or something like that, or whatever the case. A lot of times they will have a lot of other stuff mixed in with it. All right. But the thing about this one and why I choose the Vita Spelt, because it is 100% spelt. All right. Now, when you look at the ingredients right here on the side, right, what does it say? Ingredients: organic whole spelt wheat flour and water. So of course, ultimately, we don't know what Esau, does with this stuff. But as far as we know and what this thing says, it's 100%. So this is just an alternative. So if you wanted to make something with pasta, they have different forms of noodles. They have the long noodles that you can actually make spaghetti with, so on and so forth, that have 100% spelt. You have some that's 100% chickpea flour, so on and so forth. So, I just wanted to bring this out in edification for brothers, so they can recognize the spelt. And I'll show you what it looks like one more time. As far as the spelt, you have the spelt flour and stuff like that. So I would strongly encourage brothers, if you're about health or you're just about healthier living, healthier eating, which generally we all should be, this is a very, very great alternative. You can also make your pancakes with this. You can also make your waffles with this. I do it my little waffle making stuff, and they just as good. You know what I'm saying, as any other thing. You hook them up, do what you do, add your little flavor, your little spices, however you do it, and you can create the same type of things, man. You can make your breads out of this. You can make flat breads, tortillas, whatever the case is, just like anything else, man. So we gotta do our best to tend towards these healthier forms of living, right? So I'll close out, with basic scripture, health scripture, as always. Okay, and so this is Sirach 30 and 15. I'll start off at 14. Better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. right? So we're considered, even though this is talking about a physical rich man, but what we're rich in spirit, you know. But what cause or what benefit are we really giving to ourselves if we have this richness of spirit? We have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High, and we're not able to try to take care of our bodies to the best of our abilities. Okay, so that's what we should be doing. Whether you're brother with infirmities or without infirmities, we still should be, trying to upkeep ourselves as best as possible. Within the society, and knowing all of the crops and the just the bad food in general. Everything is bad out here, man. So it's verse 15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. Okay, so with that, I just hope this segment was edifying, and Lord willing, I try to keep these going on a weekly basis, just give brothers, short tidbits on health and different things like that. And if there's any other suggestions or questions that brothers would like to ask or would like me to get into that they would like to know, just just hit me up on a comment board, and Lord willing, I get to it, as soon as possible. So with that, I hope this segment was edifying. Of ancient grain spelt. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, Bashim YAHAWASHI, Bashim Rakakwadash, Yabuwana to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalawam to Lek out there, doing this work of faith and live with love and true sincerity. Shalawam.